is Dmitry Gurfinkel, and I am Senior Financial Management Specialist at the WorldBank, working mainly with Latin America region, Europe, and Middle East. I'm mostly focused on providing technical assistance support to countries in terms of strengthening of their public financial management systems, and specifically public sector accounting. As part of a bank-executed trust fund funded by the European Union, the bank team has been providing support to the Ministry of Finance of Ukraine in connection with the public sector accounting reform and the implementation of the International Public Sector Accounting Standards, also known as IPSAS. It's worth mentioning that this reform is part of a broader public financial management reform which was approved in 2017 in Ukraine, and its primary objective is to put in place a modern and effective public financial management system capable of providing high-quality service and better resource allocation, strictly in line with the medium and long-term national development priorities and also the Ukraine commitments under the EU-Ukraine Association Agreement. This project is also implemented in collaboration with the Ministry of Internal Affairs of Ukraine, Ministry of Justice of Ukraine, and the Pension Fund of Ukraine. Its main objective is to improve quality, reliability, consistency, and comparability of the financial information at both national and international levels, to ensure its relevance and usefulness for the decision-making on the use of public funds for improved service delivery, transparency, and accountability. It's also expected that by further strengthening of the public sector accounting system, the following outcomes could be achieved. More efficient management of resources, including use of public funds and public asset management of financial risk to support fiscal sustainability, especially when we are talking about using public-private partnership arrangements or reporting and disclosure of contingent liability, including pensions provisions. It also would mean improved transparency and accountability frameworks, as well as consolidation of financial statements at general government level. Finally, the implementation of this reform would also contribute, and it's an important factor, for the further integration of Ukraine with the EU framework. In terms of the reform and project results so far, the Ukrainian government has issued 20 national standards which are based on the International Public Sector Accounting Standards, and they also established an integrated public sector chart of account, which is a crucial piece for the implementation of this reform. In terms of the contribution of the bank team so far, we have contributed to the updating of the public sector accounting strategy, which was approved this year for the next few years. And we also just finished a comprehensive assessment of the current situation of public sector accounting in Ukraine, and we used the enhancements of public financial reporting diagnostic tools, also known as REPF. Some of the lessons learned so far by the team and our Ukrainian counterparts in terms of the implementation of this reform has been the importance of political support and willingness of the Ukrainian authorities, definition and implementation of implementation strategy and roadmap for the reform, importance of timely updating of legal and regulatory framework associated with the changes, availability of suitable integrated financial management information system and its integration with different public financial management models. Very important change management strategy, including dissemination and communication plans, risk mitigation and risk management of those actions that could represent higher risk for the reform implementation, and finally availability of different kinds of resources, including financial, human, and equipment. Some of the key recommendations identified as part of our assessment work conducted jointly with the Ministry of Finance could be summarized as creation of conditions for the continued implementation of public sector accounting reform in line with the just approved public sector accounting strategy, monitoring of actual and potential risk, as well as implementation of the mitigation measures, paying special attention to the change management activities, including training and communication effort, continuing the capacity building effort at all levels of government, including the training of internal external auditors, which would be in charge of oversighting the reform implementation. And finally, ensure that the public sector accounting reform is linked also to the strengthening of the transparency and accountability frameworks at all times. In terms of the next steps, and as it was stated in the revised public sector accounting strategy, the team has identified 5 different dimensions, which was agreed and discussed with the Ministry of Finance. The first one is the improvement of accounting regulatory frameworks, and we're talking about the issuance and translation of some recent international public sector accounting standards approved by the respective board. Improved of the operational basis of the accounting systems in terms of the further implementation of charters of accountants and development of the framework of the fixed asset management in the public sector. Improved financial reporting and transparency and quality of the financial information. Continuous capacity building and training of the public sector accountants and auditors, and finally upgrading of the current financial information system. Finally, in terms of the bank support, we are currently working on the general capacity building training plan for this reform, as well as the operational framework for the e-learning program, which would be implemented by the Ministry of Finance.